Mifambule muna kushe una kabo una adu. This is the SierraCast TV, which we program Salon for Better. And as una know, the President Malabio on September 26 this year, he will address the 74th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, in which a church on several issues them around. And also the issues the way it be church around, a church around about the admission of Africa into the Security Council of the United Nations, with at least we forget like 2 permanent seats. And also a talk about peace and security. We also talk about an all-inclusive governance and economic growth model. And he also talk about youth empowerment and it's an equitable delivery of justice in Sierra Leone. And well, with all that President Bio don't say na the 74th General Assembly at the United Nations we attend the 26th of this year. For help we furthermore for understand all what President Bio say for lay people them, that mamina market, that mamina farm, that Okada rider, that person way at least they na market na Sania Bata Street, Dove Court, Bombay, Road, all the market they follow na understand what President Bio can talk na the UN and with issues them we will believe say they prevail na the ground na way na Sierra Leone with what he can talk to with man them and waiting they happy na Sierra Leone. So the person who can break and down for where they go say kanya and don't follow we understand. Would they bring una come the former presidential spokesman where na Abdoulaye Berete, where also a political scientist. How you get them scientists the way they make plane? Now so himself na a scientist from politics. So himself they can break and down for we, and also presently Mr. Berete na a practicing registered social worker na Toronto, na Canada. So, Berete, we welcome you to SierraCast TV.
Thank you very much, Abdoulaye, and thank you with your co-producer. Now, always a pleasure for una give me the opportunity for come na SierraCast TV.
Okay, yes. Mr. Berete, we know say you get for come break this down for you, but before you go, get question for you. We be see you last time on the demonstration will get where Madabio come na UN. But this trip will not happen for see you. Wait it happen.
Yes, yeah, it's so unfortunate. I be don't already buy me tickets for I go join the demonstration against President Bio. Unfortunately, I missed my flight, and the only other available flight with American Airlines from Pearson at Toronto, where I for don't go na Newark na New Jersey. The only one we are available na around 3 in the afternoon. So that they make miss the demonstration. But I feel very much good that from waiting I see, we get a bigger crowd this time, and the messages them were well coordinated, and at least we're able to succeed for present the position for who support the concerned Sierra Leoneans, and we organize this protest so that all like minds then be able to come with a united voice, because we all care about the country Sierra Leone.
So well, we don't get unclear because some of we will not be able to eat better when they come back. We say Mr. Berete, we can anybody for we burger when they come back. But you don't see you. But anyway, yes. So as we don't give you all the breakdown of what President Bio can talk na the UN, you want break it down for we sir. Mr. Berete, like how we give you a step by step.
Yes, thank you again for the opportunity. I
Yes,
think
sir.
the UN General Assembly meeting the week happen, people them over the years and don't describe them as a talk shop. But me will focus particularly now on Sierra Leone vis-a-vis the speech where President Bio gave at the UN. The theme for this year is very important for particularly Sierra Leone based on the issues them where they happen in our country. Because then say now how Sierra Leone go able join hand together with other countries in the world, where they call multilateral efforts, for let we reduce poor in the world, including Sierra Leone, for let we able promote quality education, then we take action on climate business, the way the weather business done dey now in the world. And Sierra Leone, we all know, we don't get an expert panel. We don't say Sierra Leone and Bangladesh and Guinea-Bissau. Now the three countries are way most vulnerable. So they issues them about then disaster that will happen because of the weather. But the most important one now, they say for let we able get inclusion. Waiting at this inclusion here. That is all waiting we they do. We for able for involve everybody, irrespective of the party where you dey, irrespective of your ethnicity, the tribe where you belong to, irrespective of the region or country where you find yourself. This now what they call the theme for the 74th session. But when we look at the speech where President Biyogi, a touch on first for less Africa continue forget two permanent seats and that we dey crave for let we get two permanent seats in the Security Council of the United Nations. This na thing wey he go talk on behalf of the African Union by virtue of him being the coordinator, just like how we been get President Kuruma when have been the coordinator for the Committee of 10 where the African Union set. And that call day not start today. From what we been get na what you call the Ezulwini consensus, which happened 2005. Then later we get the SAT declaration, which happened in Libya in 2010. African leaders then speak with one voice, with no dissent in views, that almost two-thirds of the issues that more than they discuss on the agenda now the Security Council of the United Nations get something for do with Africa. It therefore makes sense for let Africa get two permanent seats in the Security Council with all the privileges and prerogatives. That way we go contribute for achieve two things: the democratization of the United Nations, and two, Africa's voice can also be heard. So for let go articulate that on behalf of Africa, I think say he was on course on that, and we for commend them say at least he able for position the voice of African leaders them now the United Nations being the coordinator for the Committee of 10 where they so constitutes.
So the people who now just they join we this na SierraCast TV, which we regular program Salon for Better, and today we talk with the former APC presidential spokesman we na Abdoulaye Berete. And Mr. Berete, also President Bio mentions something about peace and security, and he also talk about an all-inclusive governance and economic growth model. What you want to talk about like peace and security? And they wonder what they mean about peace and security. Like we they see a lot of things on social media. I don't know if now wrong thing then in the post or at least now the right thing. What you want to talk about that, sir?
I think Sedanen at the meat of this conversation because President Bio take the podium. He talk about peace conference, been too many three with their own salon. He said that one day then come into solid grounds for let we continue for promote peace in the country. To me, that na a blanket statement, which you can call a facade. The reason being, even people we go na that Bintu Mani 3 conference, we speak truth to power. And it was not inclusive. The reason being the main opposition party, when are the All People's, then with a position paper that they're not going to be part of that conference day. And then give very, very valid reasons. One, the political intimidation where they happen in the country, the victimization, and the selective justice. Based on that, therefore, if they be really, really sober about holding a Bintu Mani 3 for let we continue for promote peace and consolidate all the positive ratings where we global peace report beyond the give us Sierra Leone, I think say the president been gets a golden opportunity for call the main opposition party, all the stakeholders sit down with them, waiting on our concerns them. We can able to address them for let we go, because some civil society organizations even come, then say, you know what? They say that Bintu Mani 3 meeting was very untimely because of the contentious issues of security and political intolerance where they prevail at the moment. So for low income position that one day as an achievement, I think say it need a rethinking about that. Now that make where it talk say one of in quotation them in his speech is say peaceful coexistence and inclusive governance are prerequisite to our development. When you read on a paper, it's so fantastic. That is the rationale in peace building. Now that one day that we need. Because not forget say them been just pull reports last year we then say the fragility report for say Sierra Leone, if we not be careful, we can relapse back into conflict. But look at all the incidents that we don't happen. We can ask ourselves, do we have peaceful coexistence, at least politically? And when they say a leader, it's easy for let you say you're not a leader for everybody, but for let you stem the tide of political violence, from where they don't declare you say you're not the president of the country following the 2018 elections, the expectation when the violence began to happen from Tayama, Kenema, Bo, and other areas where then they specifically target opposition people I think say that will be a golden opportunity let the president come and talk to the nation for say, you know what? Violence not the carry go any side. We need for come together as a nation for let we able unite and push Salongo before. But for let it become conspicuously silent and not make any statement to the effect, it give a theory of either condoning the actions where basically they come out from own proteges or it's like, I don't care. You guys do whatever you want to do because they not take ownership. And ownership, they can say in the American parlance, the buck stays here. So you have to take the leadership so that this issue about coming to articulate flowering statements, now the United Nations, for give a picture as if everything is okay, is wrong. And look at all the incidents that we don't happen. First, when the one gets the speakership, now the Sierra Leone Parliament, we all see what happen. Una cargo policeman and go bundle members of the opposition, kick them out, then una do a quashi elections just because una want forget the speakership. Then from there, look at the coincidence, a very ugly one will happen. The petition, when they talk about good governance, inclusive governance for economic development, governance not to a one-time intervention. It's a model where they move on. You for guidance. Look at what be happen. We've been very ugly. APC been petitioned some members of parliament of the Sierra Leone People's Party. The matter then a court. The SLPP back been petitioned some members of the All People's Congress Party with the parliament. Both matters were in court. But what did they do? As part of selective justice, you see say they call the case for the APC members and look at the coincidence. It's so timely. They send policemen them for go fire tear gas then at the APC headquarters and old railway line. You get the other MPs then from the SLPP, then they parliament ready for swearing in. As they cut the matter, all the actions that they happen. That don't tell you say it was well planned, all orchestrated, and I did the leadership of President Bio for camp for demonstrator. Just like what he do when the Anti-Corruption Commission been go parade teachers in a cutting tree. Now that didn't mean no say he can talk. At least he can condemn that act. So which means he not condone that. So we can conversely say all the other acts of violence we get something for do with political intimidation. He either gets the blessing where he get to that to perpetuate them, or he don't care about at all. Then here is somebody coming to the United Nations. They give we a fine quotation say, peaceful coexistence and inclusive governance are prerequisite to our development. You will see what you call a discordant, waiting they happen at the ground and waiting it can talk. Now they make political leadership if we come with accountability. And until that accountability is there, all waiting talk, we can just dismiss them as being rhetorics.
The people, the owner, we just they join with this SierraCast TV and which we program Salon for Better. We did with Abdullah Berete, when the former APC presidential spokesman, where he based in Canada right now. And if they talk about the speech where Madam Yogi in United Nations, this the 74th General Assembly, and they talk about what they say about peace and security. And Mr. Berete, I go want categorically tell you, say, Madabio, they condone all the violence and the insecurity in the country, where we get evidence and we get video them, even before and after elections, when they talk to SLPP supporters in the UK, when they tell them, say, when he become president, he will be silenced and let them go on the offensive. And also no say, that is where people, then they jubilate, say, Madabio do a nice thing after Ben Kelfala go display teacher and a Kotitri, where go disgrace them, where he apologize. And not mean it do them because the people that when are the sponsors, they when are defeat, where they sponsor anti-corruption, and they go pull them teacher and they did. Now that make that it not mean so all the violence and the peace we not in the country, they know about that and they are aware about that. So I don't want to let people and say they do well where they go now the media and go not only supposed for apologize for Ben Kelfala. Now the man we do in crime now for go apologize. Why President Bio no go na the media no go apologize for them police they will go shoot na APC office? Why all the other violence the way they happen and killing them, then small picking the way they kill by election them. Now then can be a why you no go apologize. Yeah, anything we happen over there na the diaspora when a major thing like shooting or them kind of thing and the president they go na the media, he apologize and Sunday they make a visit there. So like that one way Madam Bio go and go apologize for Ben Kelfala for them teacher them now lie phenomenal. Now where they say the sponsor are the way now defeat where they sponsor now they drive go down there now they go make them teacher and they come on at that position where they be put them. So that one they own yes. Me if people and they say they commend them for that, me I not commend them for that. And also yeah. And also it also they talk about youth empowerment and equitable delivery of justice in Sierra Leone. I want to let you mention something about that then from there like myself will give idea which you get what this waiting they say.
Thank you very much, Abdullah. You mentioned something about police brutality. I remember during the trying times where we've been getting at Sierra Leone, when the British then been sent for the gentleman called Kit Biddle. Kit Biddle recently gave an interview where he called on the Sierra Leone police for say then for be one of the pillars them for promote peace and security, not to just for go on international peacekeeping. Because President Vio mentioned that. He said then go continue for promote peace globally. But how you go promote peace globally when you use security apparatus, then nothing not been be so disheartening. Where them been go unleash them bullets them and tear gas na APC office. We been see where the OSD people and then they go and take the cartridge and for keep them. Let people they not see. Little they no say them, they even video them from afar. So I don't tell you say, then conscious say some of the things that we then they do, we are wrong. And nobody no go say he no see that video. Then look at even wetin happen at constituency 110, when at the most recent thing, you get a sitting member of cabinet, we then see if they go for go disrupt polling stations. All that one day, outside decisive leadership day, President Bio go fire that guy immediately for a rethinking, but rather he left him for maintain the status quo. But the good thing now, though, when we dey look at international human rights protocols, if the government of the day not able for sanction people them wey dem dey exercise power by virtue or in their official capacity, international human rights groups and across the world, they can identify individuals for hold them accountable. And that make her glad when there is a database with all the violations the way they happen at Sierra Leone, all the players the way involved, then get the date, the time, then pictures them, the way then they perpetuate the violence. So that don't tell you say that perpetration of violence they then can hold them accountable down the road, irrespective. Look what happened again recently. Something we don't happen 10 years ago. They don't come, the UN don't come say that one day it constitutes crimes against humanity. Then for all the people them we unleash that mayhem day now the stadium accountable. So it is good that I can even see something way very funny. Then go beat two journalists then. When would they talk about human rights? Then go violence them. Then you say they go set a committee, who get the Sierra Leone police. They cannot investigate for bring the people them into for account. Now that make when you talk about the young people them, President Bio in the address he say threat of inequality, lack of opportunity, and youth issues them now a big challenge. Indeed, now a big challenge because the young people them, you as president, not for be seen for create the conducive environment for let young people involved in violence because it come into governance on the promise say it go address lawlessness. But when you condone lawlessness, then all what you talk it become what you call rhetorics. Now that make for we the young people them imagine a notorious somebody like the guy called something Arata. That guy went on video. They talk say in they go attack people them. So you want tell me say the police for wait until they say go and take action on somebody that is making a public threat against a comedian way highly respected in the country like Sarah the Great. Then the police just sit down with some complacency, no action is being taken. What about the videos that surface with all the violence that we don't happen? So that selective justice day for the young people them, it contributes for letting involved in violent crimes. Now that make when president talk now in speech say, in the try for create a directorate, now the Ministry of Justice, for let people and get access to justice. I say, but wait a minute. Do we really need a directorate for let people and get justice? All you needed is until that day when a president go able come say, you know what? The judiciary you need for step up because those are the habitants of our democracy. They are the bastion of our democracy. But until all we move beyond the flowery speeches, they will get the opportunity for can't talk now the United Nations or the African Union or the ECOWAS. Then when you go on the ground, you go see the disparity of seclusion of the young people them. Look at the number of young people where they don't sack just because they perceive them for being APC or opposition supporters. The NGC don't come, they don't talk. The C4C don't come, they don't talk. The APC don't come, they don't talk. But it is like, you know what? Let them talk. We can do what we wanted. And when we go to the United Nations, we can write the flowery speech to give a picture. But the reality now is, people in way they can't address now the United Nations, they also get information of wetin dey happen na the ground. So when you dey talk something, there is a disparity with wetin dey na the ground. You dey end up for present yourself in a very, very difficult and funny position. And we don't want that for our president. Now that make wey be dey talk, some of us, we glue now with TV, we glue the watch. And I say, is this guy really acting a movie? Is he really saying things that are in sync with the realities on the ground? Where people they want demonstrate, you send police them. You say, no, it is not right. You cannot do that. Then we they begin question, where is our democracy? Usai chapter 3 of the 1991 Sierra Leone Constitution Day, we guarantee we their rights in day, particularly when those rights are being infringed upon, when people they want to go express themselves without being lawless. But then just want to give a political message, say, you know what? Sierra Leone, now we all get them. If we poil, now we all poil them. And don't forget, say, the reasons that we make you see the United Nations, they show concern. This kind team we then count this year on this inclusion. Now, because then find out, say, take example, Rwanda and Sierra Leone. We've been get two very, very devastating conflicts in the 90s. At the end of the day, through the Peace Building Commission at the United Nations, they support we for let we strengthen with democratic institutions so that we not go relapse again to chaos. But so unfortunate that when you look at what happened at Rwanda, the progress we they make, and we own divisive politics, where presidents beyond they promote na Sierra Leone, it become unfortunate that the fragility reports where they say if we not address the issues and we get a tendency for relapse back into chaos, God forbid, but the presidents for no say anything happen at that country, the buck stays with him and he will be held to account.
Thank you very much, Mr. Verity, for that information. The way you get with when then people here they talk about empowerment and talking about the justice system, and you also measure about first in Sierra Leone history where we then they begin beat female journalists them and not say demand them maybe they attack them, but it not ever be. And all the things the way this present ruling government of Julius Maada Bio they do now so shameful things them. And now I see them the last time when Lai Lawrence Lima go na radio station, he talk say no not sabi this guy where you mention when name Arata. But when they go beat this Arata na Moriton, some of them are stakeholders and SLPP now they go footy medical bill. So it's like now they encourage this guy for do violence in the country.
That's not in the exact context that one the way our position. Just that singular example the way you give, you go see the complicity of the political class in promoting violence. Imagine when they even get Arata, then go say, okay, you know what? That violence will happen at constituency 110. You name don't feature. We don't see where they use a jeep, where they go up and down. Let him come to account. When you do that, you they send a positive signal for say, you know what? Una not try amo. This guy, even though he is SLPP, the Arata guy, look at the kind penalties and way they face, they don't even charge him to court. But the fact say that didn't happen. What thing they happen now is it's like you are condoning, you are giving the license to young people for say it is okay. Go and perpetrate the violence. You are protected because you are politically connected. And once you do that, if we condemn her outrightly, because the mistakes then will go don't happen over the years as we move on in the governance process of a country. When we see them they resurface, we for able to speak truth to power. Once you do that, that way we will not say collectively, irrespective of political affiliation, Sierra Leone comes first.
Yeah, Mr. Begete, also when Julius Maada Bio they talk na the UN Assembly, General Assembly, when they measure about youth empowerment and equitable delivery of justice, most of them youths them where they sack unlawfully in their jobs them. up till now they not pay them benefits, they not pay them nothing. How they expect them for leave? If you say waiting they talk so now just waiting the rights go give them for let's say, but it not mean them. You don't feel so, sir?
I think say na more of what you can graduate of being a flowery speech.
Okay.
Now a speech where you go. But whilst discussing this, the same journalists them where them beat. The irony now na this. They just don't care go na parliament, the 1965 Public Order Act will criminalize libel. So that they go expunge them from we books them for promote free speech, where they in section 25 of we 1991 Sierra Leone Constitution, particularly chapter 3. Then you carry that one day, then go do some kind of violation like this. And what it make the thing very concerning, they even accuse EU security guard, presidential guards, that they accuse. So all you need for do, call the people and weigh them in detail, where been they, assemble them. The journalists then go able to identify witnesses then the way they identify. Do you really need a committee for say they set a committee who get information where they don't go be the journalists them, make them bring and come? I think say that is very unfortunate to say the least.
Yeah, because even when we be going to New York, the 26th, when I be the 74th session of the United Nations General Assembly, we see journalists and they too where they request for the journalists in Sierra Leone get free press freedom. Because we know say a month ago or so, they close a lot of radio stations them and even some newspaper there now. If you know they write for the current government, you know for right. And that's not for be. And during the previous government of President Ernest Baikoma, nothing like that not be the happen for let them stop journalists and suppress them for waiting and they do. And the people that will just they join me, this is now the former presidential spokesman where na Abdoulaye Berete na him they give a response to Madabio in speech where he give na the United Nations on the 26th of September. So Mr. Berete, waiting na the last word where you want to give people a day because I've no say a lot of people will be not be able to understand waiting Madabio can talk na the United Nations because they not be get the opportunity for listening to his speech. You don't break her down for them. So waiting at the last word we go give people a day because right now the country, even when they say you talk say the ground right, then they arrest you and lock you up. So waiting at the courage where you want to give people a day because the people and they suffer right now. So waiting at the courage where you want to give people in Sierra Leone.
Thank you. My own last word is this. And I articulate when last year we came at the 73rd session at the United Nations. I go na AYV, I give me what say me they can demonstrate against President Bio because it is suppress people there for rise up in the country. I fly cam, after that I go back Freetown, I go give me position at TV why I can. And the placard what been all was Sierra Leone is crying again. Because some people that we don't understand me on USA they come on in terms of them discussions then. Some only see me as a former presidential spokesman. Then say, oh, now because Mother Bio and in team them be arrested in 1993, be all been then a New Breed newspaper, then go lock we. That one then a history to me. Of course, I still get the trauma of that imprisonment there at the time, where Mother Bio and colleagues then do. But I can proudly say, Mother Bio for able to understand say, it not mean say where somebody will clearly be identified with an opposition party, if he talk something, if we only dismiss and for say that person, it they talk from the lens of an opposition. Take the sense small. Take the advice where they panda kind talk they. Bring them into your governance portfolio. Because at the end of the day, you they talk na your speech na the UN say, Sierra Leone commit itself for promote global peace and security. For promote global peace and security, it will start internally. Start it in Sierra Leone. Not to just where you want can at the UN, you go call President Koroma, you call other people them, una go do a photo opportunity. Forgive a picture, say, you know what? There is inclusiveness. That is elusive inclusiveness. That's not inclusiveness. What are the issues on the ground? Wetin go promote good governance? Involve C4C, involve NGC, involve the other political parties and even we not get representation in governance. Not to bring them into your cabinet. That's your discretion as provided for in the 1991 Constitution. But speak truth to power, listen to them. Not to all things when they talk, you for interpret some political lens. Now it make for me, when they say the buck stays with the president, that thing for begin say, oh, people away surround them, now them bad. You get the gauntlet say, when I appoint you, I get the right to fire you if you know they work within the spirit. Afterwards, what you do? When you state chief of protocol, go na one church, you go display in appointment letter, the also don't build a short time, you get rid of him, then you bring in the anti-corruption, then investigates the lady. So if you can do that, what about the many, many political blunders, including meetings them, where we don't see cabinet ministers and they all for say, this time, una come through the chairman them, now the SLPP them, now the region them, now three will give people a job. When you that video they be surface, it is unfortunate because at the end of the day, you they promote divisiveness that only people them will belong to the SLPP, now therefore enjoy the state goodies. Once you do that, you are excluding the other people in the state. And when you do that, what will happen? There will be what you call disillusionment, enchantment, and what can happen is we'll get what you call the new social movements. If you suppress people them for demonstrate, we don't want to let nobody go underground. We don't want that for our country. Because now that didn't be happen years ago, where we end up for give back to the RUF. We don't want that for Sierra Leone. We don't pass that stage there. We don't all repeated elections where we transfer power. Madabio get a responsibility for bring people them together. Use all what you can, including your executive orders, to bring people together for peaceful coexistence, just like what INSEF say. It's a peaceful coexistence and inclusive governance are prerequisites to our development. Until you put action to that phrase the way you go in at the United Nations, if not, we can just dismiss the speech for saying, you know what, this is what you can call a facade. And not a carry go no side. Action speaks louder than voice.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Berete. And me people will just join we and Mr. Berete just don't give response to Madabio in the speech where he can give now the United Nations 74th session General Assembly on the 26th of this month. And one point where Mr. Berete just end up with where na imuna say for the watch with na the peace and security and where they talk about coexistence with people in the country. Nobody know the way go accept them unless people will belong in cabal, because a lot of people they cry and then they Bokudo lost their jobs and that in the way it can talk na United Nations and not all water it just can't sugarcoat. But meanwhile they forget say the one the way they can talk to know exactly what they do in the country. So una just get for patience, and as una don't get courage from Mr. Abdoulaye Berete, this na SierraCast TV, and we producer will get today na Amjad Jalomiba, me na Abdoulaye Mansari, and we will come back to una next week and they give una updates about waiting the gun na the country and worldwide. Una tata.